Everything is hopeless. Real wages haven't gone up since about 2010. I saw a chart this morning and the line just sort of lies there, like my motivation.
Well, that chart might be right, but it's not the whole story. We also live in a much more global economy. Across the world, especially in developing countries, real wages are far higher than they were 20 years ago. A big reason our real wages rose through the 20th century is that rich countries were good at pushing their costs onto someone else, onto the environment as pollution and deforestation, onto cheaper labour in other countries. That was never free, we just weren't the ones paying.
Okay, that's fair enough. But what about utilities? We make those here and they're so much more expensive.
True, but we also hardly ever have blackouts anymore. Sydney hasn't had a drinking water crisis since the late 1990s, and you don't have to check which way the wind is blowing before you go to Bondi to avoid swimming in untreated sewage. Those systems all cost money to build and maintain. We pay for them collectively.
Maybe, but the cost of living is so much higher for everything. The cost of essentials is just ridiculous.
The cost of living does feel high, but also you can buy strawberries in any season, or foods that used to be exotic like mangoes. You can get pretty much any ingredient any time of year, which would have seemed ridiculous not that long ago.
The idea that you had to change your diet with the seasons is bizarre. I'm not signing up for that. But now we can't get full-time jobs for life to be able to afford all those things like you could back in the day.
There may be something to that. But now we can have our food delivered to our doors at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, or parcels appear overnight. Or we can chat with customer service on a Sunday afternoon. That flexibility only exists because lots of people don't work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. It's not perfect, but that's a trade-off, not a collapse.
Still, everything is so much more expensive than when you were my age.
Yes, most things are safer and better too. We have food safety standards, building standards, environmental standards, worker protections and entitlements. None of those things are free. A lot of costs we used to dump on our rivers or our lungs or our beaches and other countries, they now show up in prices. The expectation that everything would keep getting cheaper while everyone got richer forever was based on expecting someone else to keep absorbing the damage. That's not sustainable. And I don't think any of us really want to live in that world.
So, some things are more expensive because we stopped pretending they were free?
That's right. Real incomes have been flat, but our common wealth has continued to grow. We have cleaner water and air. We live longer in better health with better care. We have public infrastructure that mostly works so well that we only notice it when it occasionally fails. Maybe we have a bit less private value than we want, but we also have an awful lot of public value. You can't buy that just for yourself. We pay for it together, and we all benefit together.
Okay, but housing still costs about 3 times as much, and it's definitely not 3 times better.
Fair. We have some work to do there.
Still, I guess lots of things have improved more than I thought. I would personally pay a little bit extra to not have to swim through sewage at Bondi.
So, it's not all doom and gloom. Yeah, there are tough challenges, but we've met tough challenges before and made real progress. We also keep inventing new things for the public to invest in, with whole systems that didn't exist a generation ago, like the NDIS. The question isn't whether public policy works. It clearly does. The question is how to design it well, how to decide what's worth paying for, and how to share the costs.
So you're saying value for money isn't just about the money in my pocket, it's also about the things that make life better for everyone?
Exactly. Good public policy often pays off slowly over decades, not budget or election cycles. And the benefits are often public rather than private gains. Value for money is about investing wisely and sticking with it so that the societal benefits compound. We need to keep going, not give up. We need to keep working to improve the boring systems that stop things going wrong, so that one day someone else will take all that hard work for granted because they never knew the world before.
I knew about some of those things, I just never connected the dots. It helps to have someone explain how it all fits together. Oral history for the win. I still want a Lambo though.